Perfect. So, did you want to talk a little bit about PyData itself? Now you needed the other person to know that. So, if to start, I'm Damian Montero. Did you want to talk a little bit about your group? Come on up.
So everyone, thank you so much for coming. We are PyData Miami.
2025, right?
2025. We are a Python-driven data science organization. This is our first event for 2025, and we're very excited to have you here. Thank you all for coming.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Part of these two groups, you're going to see a lot of more events about this. We talked a little bit outside, some of the ones who were joining me for the pizza outside, about AI. I think there's going to be a lot of emphasis on data analytics. You two are AI experts. I'm sure we're going to hear some things about AI. We're going to delve and we're going to taste a little bit of AI, but I have a particular subject that I was like, well, you want me to present? What if I presented this? And that subject really stood out. So I want to slowly build it up and then let me know what's going on in there. It's going to be Streamlit, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Say, yes. Okay, perfect. So who am I? Why is it me that's going to inaugurate? Is that the right word? English is not my first language, as you can tell from my accent. And it isn't. Inaugurate? So why bring a person like me? It's obvious. When you think of me, you should think of 2 fully paid houses, 4 brand new cars, right? Income houses bringing in that money. Those are the type of goals I have for the future. So now we're equal. Now we all have the same goals because I don't have any of that. Man, one day. But another thing you should think of me is, I have 25 years of experience in programming. I'm one of those. As data analytics people, we don't talk to those programmers, right? Well, I'm one of those people, know that, but I haven't told them I'm here because I have things to talk about it. One of the stories I'm going to talk about is related to this, and I'll mention this up in West Palm Beach, actually in Broward, Tech Hub. Anybody heard of that organization? Networking, technology organization's been around for a while. They have a hackathon. They've had it for the last 7 years. I'm one of the head coaches. You'll see why I'm bringing this up in the story that I'm going to be telling and all that. So just be aware of it. And I'm not a data analyst, but that's okay. I've figured you people out. See, I'm going to tell a story. Shit, I'm sorry. This is not the right thing. AI made these slides for me, so I had to update it. I'm going to tell you a story, so listen up, right? I got it. I'm old enough that I was there. You were saying earlier, like, when did it start, data analytics? I was there. In 2006, I think I researched this. I may be wrong. Google, and I'm so old, I don't even ChatGPT it. I don't TikTok it like some of you. I Googled it. And data analytics has been around since the 1600s, apparently. Definitely since the 60s, right? Alan Turing. Definitely since the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. But I saw that long hallway. I was working for Circuit City. No, I wasn't selling computers at the store. I was at the website. One of the programmers make a website. Amazing, right? So you've ever seen the right-hand side? The shopping cart was on the right-hand side. It's so impressive. You guys are all picturing it. None of you are picturing it. No, right? Okay, that's all right. A long time ago. But there was one hallway that was full of database engineers. And these database engineers were far bigger number than us programmers, and that I've never seen in any organization. I've been around for a long time. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. So I started talking to them, and they're like, it's simple. We're not like the people that take care of the database. Because usually there's a ratio about 1 to 5. There'll be 5 programmers for a data engineer or something around there. So this was way more than they normally had. And then I realized, when they explained it to me, I didn't realize it, they told me, they were there for the executives. They were there to help them understand the data that we already had. You were not creating data. You were making data beautiful, right? And when I looked up beautiful data, I saw the bottom of my bathroom. Kind of, but it's clear here. That's not clear. We also want to make, say, data sense. Now this makes more sense because when I Googled, again, that's how old I am Googling, data that made sense in images, what did it bring up? You remember those things? 5 steps to every data analytics supposed to know by heart. Is this right? Do you guys have it in your heart? Is this stamped on the head? The circle, right? You start, then you circle back again. So our job as data engineers, and all of a sudden, I don't know if you realize it, I joined your group, is to make it beautiful and make it tell a story, right? Because everybody can see the data. And I'll express that in a second. We'll show some examples. And one of the things that we do to do this is we decide. Do we give the VP access to the whole database and say, hey, VP, go for it? Or do we do Streamlit? Okay, really, what do? We want to tell the customer, here you go, I'm sick and tired of making reports, because what this hallway of database engineers did were make reports, print them out, this is how long ago it was, and bring them to the executives. And they had a hallway because those printouts had to be quick, within the hour. That's how long ago it was. So what do? We do dashboards, right? If I tell you, the answer to give a customer what they're looking for, what, your clients are going to come to you, what your users are going to come to you and saying, hey, I need the access, is a dashboard. Okay, well, the JetBrains did a Python developer survey. There's a Python group. The #1 library for that was Streamlit. And hence, why we're going to talk about it now. Now, this is not sexy, right? This is not exciting. Great, you're going to learn the #1 library, big deal. Let's see if I can make it sexy. I have a video here, and it will show you this is the video on the front page of Streamlit. And I think it emphasizes everything. There's no audio. Open up your favorite text editor. You type in a couple of lines. It is Python. Bada bing, bada boom. You get a website. Right? You add a little bit more. Bada bing, bada boom. It's a chart. And it's beautiful. Yes, I think I got some of you. This is the sexiness of this. We want to do less coding, less thinking. If I needed to teach you everything about a dashboard, I have the time. I used to be a teacher. So I now work for the Department of Justice. That's who I am. I'm a developer at the Department of Justice. But before, 2 years ago, I was a teacher at a boot camp. And I could teach you HTML. Give me 6 months. Then another 3 months more for CSS, because it's much easier, says the teacher. Don't trust them. Then a little JavaScript, some libraries. This is too much. We just want the data. We don't want to relearn somebody else's technology. We have the data. Have any of you worked on NumPy? Okay, a couple of that. We have some ways that you can manipulate some data, manipulate certain things. You might already have Python access, or you might be like, and I'll showcase this, no, I have data through an API. I have a service. Some of you might have heard of GraphQL, some service that gives me the data. And I know how to ask for the data through that service. Now, we're not talking Power BI or Tableau. Those are perfectly good answers. The problem with those, and I'll just bring it out here, that in my opinion, is that there's licensing issues. You guys know this, right? Tableau, I'm not too sure about, but I know Power BI is like per user. Am I wrong?
$10 a user, and now they bumped it up.
Right. And it's like not the creator, the people viewing it.
Correct.
That's just crazy. Come on in. We're in a good time and all that. Hello, my friend. There's space in the front. There's space on the side here. And there's drinks and some food on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side.
And I thought Seaborn was amazing.
Which one?
Seaborn.
Seaborn is fantastic.
No, I thought it was amazing, but looking at the data.
But it's the same idea. It's the same idea. Seaborn is specifically designed for Jupyter Notebooks. And Jupyter Notebooks is a fine answer. So if you have when I describe this problem, which is how do we make data beautiful, how to make it easy, and also let the people in front of you sort of manipulate it, you may have been there. You may have sat down next to the VP, and they were like, great, now I want only Columbia's prices. Okay, all the sales in Florida. Okay, now I want New York and Florida. Now I want the lower half in the States. No problem. Jupyter Notebooks achieves that goal as long as you can sit beside them. As long as you don't have to train the users in Power BI and Tableau and all these solutions. The thing with Streamlit, what we're discussing now, is you can make quick websites without having to know any HTML. I'll showcase it, and we'll do it together. So if you have a computer out, bring it out and just turn it on. Make sure on the Wi-Fi before we continue with this. So the Wi-Fi is, I think it's, just look for one that says _5G. Once you join it, the password is 27, 5 times. Now you got to do math. No. 27, 27, 27, 27, 27, right? So 5 times and all that. So get that going and all that. So is this exciting to people? This is good? You want to see it happening? Yes.
So are you saying that, Streamlit, okay, great. Any novice user can create a dashboard.
Yes.
What do you think the use case for Tableau, Power BI be in this future world?
So it's a perfectly fine answer, right? Because some people just live on it, right? Like my neighbor is an executive at a construction company, and he lives on Power BI. Like he knows Power BI, and he doesn't want to bother the database engineers, the developers. He wants his reports. He gets them, right? We throw them off to a data warehouse, and where he doesn't touch the production data, but he gets production data style stuff, and he's very happy. So for those people that are in the database, in the Power BI world, in the Tableau space, and if there's something else that you work, that works fine. But sometimes you want to build just quick websites. And in this scope, this is meant for that. This is supposed to be a competitor for Jupyter Notebooks. So it's meant for like more than just I want myself, like you want the reports and all that, but also to showcase reports. Because at the end, we'll even publish it on the URL. You will all be able to send a URL this afternoon to your mom and say, hey, check this data out.
I guess that was my biggest question is how do you serve it to the end users? And
Yes.
how do you ensure security and let's say row-level security where
Yes.
you only want them to see certain information based off of their rules?
We won't go too much into it, but I can sit down and talk to you about it. The idea is that you control what's going on in there. And because you have NumPy, you have control over everything here. So you have control. It isn't that I'm not going to show you something where I'm going to show you an Excel spreadsheet, and you will see magic, and now everybody can see that Excel spreadsheet, which is more than just share Excel to everybody. It's more than that, and it's not editable. So maybe that covers what you're looking for, right? So we'll try some of that. So what I'd like to do is, by the way, before I continue on, anybody know what this is? M&M. See this man? And this man? Same age. What the fuck happened? Because that is a good-looking man, or maybe not in that video. Maybe I should paint my beard. Is that the difference? Is that the only thing? Because he's the exact same age as me and all that. So appreciate that. Thank you. That's it. I'll take it. At this age, I'll take it from anybody and all that. So can you follow me on this website? By that, I don't mean go on Instagram and all that. Go to this website, and I'll show you what's going on in there. What we will do together is go to the website, Damian.rocks. You'll be redirected to GitHub. So go ahead and I'll put it one more time, Damian.rocks. So, by the way, for the future, if you have in your bag an iPad or something like that, we will do everything. You will make a choice if you know enough to put it on your computer, or literally on your phone, you'll be able to run this. It will be a little bit hard. For example, if you had a nice iPad, you could have done this, just to let you know about what's going on here. What we've landed in is my GitHub repo. In here will be the demos that we'll be doing today, and I will follow with you up to a point, and then I will switch to my computer, and I will explain why I'm doing that. There are two reasons. I'm going to show off something that requires an API key. I can't put that on GitHub or else everybody downloads the stuff. And two, I'm going to use a very, 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 very large data set, which actually doesn't, it's too big for GitHub. Doesn't let me download it. So for those two, and I'll point them out. So how do we use this? If you know what you're doing and you know how to do it on your computer, go ahead and just simply click here and, so ignore what I just did, clone it. So if you know what you're doing, clone it. If you're like, whoa, what do you mean? Bear with me. Does everybody have a GitHub repo? I'm sorry, a GitHub account. Doesn't matter if you used it before. Everybody not have a GitHub account. If you don't, that's okay. You can do it right now as I'm chatting. Go to github.com and it'll take you a couple of seconds to sign up. Ignore what I did here. This is because I'm logged in, and so therefore I don't have to do anything. So if you want, if you haven't done that and all that, it doesn't cost anything. There's no credit card involved. In fact, I don't think they, well, I guess they kind of charge for certain things. I have never put my credit card in there, and I've been using it for about 14 years. For the rest of you, if you have an account, over here, when you land in here, there was the code button. And then I chose this tab called Code Spaces. And then I'm going to click on this main green button. You can do it before I do. Okay? So everybody saw what I did? So we click on Code Spaces. I'm going to click on this button. A new tab will open up. It'll do so in your phone as well. And what we've done here is we've essentially run Visual Studio on their computers for you. And you are allowed to do up to about 5 of these. And in fact, call me or ask me, and I can show you how to sort of stop ones that you're like, I get to my 5 limit, Damian. No problem. Just go to somewhere, you'll see you can delete the ones that you have already. What will happen is my project will come up here and we'll be able to see it. I will zoom in a second. You see the README here, and you can scroll down to see some information, and I will showcase what the README has in a second. And now it's installing some things. So if you followed me here, go ahead and go to the end of this, where a little trash can will appear, and click on that trash can. The things that it's doing, we don't need. So anybody that followed me, do you have a page that looks like this? Anybody that is trying to follow me but hasn't reached here before? Hasn't reached here yet? Okay, I'll give you a couple of seconds. That's good, gives me a chance to drink.
Again, we have to use the code bases or?
No, if you are comfortable enough, clone it.
Okay.
It'll be much easier. And open it up in your favorite editor. Doesn't matter which one. All right, getting back to here, I'm going to ask you to run a particular command. It's going to take a couple of minutes. I'll explain what it's doing it while it's doing it, and then I'll showcase some of the rest of the things in that page. All this explanation will be very, very boring right now. I know. But eventually, we'll get that big splash, that big wow. I'm going to hear those wows because I mind read, right? Because some of you won't say it. So come in here, down here, right? I'm zoomed in. You don't have to zoom in. And I'm going to just sort of collapse this to make it easier to see. I'm at the very bottom. Apparently collapsing doesn't do anything. There we go. I'm going to type in SH. And I'm going to run this particular program called install uv.sh. Some of you, so I'm going to go /install.uv. I'm sorry. uv.sh. So, see if it worked. Oh, it zoomed in there as well. Good. So you can run this, and I'm going to run that line right there. Then I'll explain what it does in a second. If you're here, remember, it's not on your, if you're welcome to run it on here. You don't have to do this. Do you have UV installed locally?
Not on this machine.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. What computer is it? Mac?
No, this is an HP.
So it's HP, it's great. So UV is different installed on you, so you're welcome to, if you'd like, go right now, go to like, go on Google, go like install UV Windows, It's just a different process. The steps you can be followed if you're on Linux or Mac. The Windows just have to run and all that. And it'll make it easier. You'll see what I'm talking about here. I'm going to press enter. Whoops. Now what it's doing, it's installing what we just discussed a second ago. It's installing on their computer UV, which is just something that makes this, what's about to happen, faster. If you've ever heard of Python, if you're comfortable with Python, you may have done things in Conda. Anybody comfortable with Conda? Is that your favorite thing? Pip, old fashioned, I like that, all right. So people like me can follow along and all that, fair enough. So if you like Pip, you like Conda, you like Poetry, the new one, the cool one, I don't know, the new one, let's just leave it as that, it's called UV. There's some things that make it faster. If we had done, there is, because I respect you guys, there's a requirements.txt, so please excuse me, I meant to say, if you want to do it, you're a Conda person, I put an environments.yaml in there for you. So if there's something that you want to share with somebody else and they're comfortable with a different kind of way of doing things in Python, you can follow along with them. For this purpose, I wanted to have everybody up there. And you should notice that you get back to this one line here. And what we've done is we installed a bunch of different libraries. The installation of these libraries are not required for the first thing we'll do. It's required for the other examples, and I wanted to sort of jump to them. So I installed a bunch of dependencies, a bunch of libraries. Don't reinvent the wheels, have somebody else invent the wheels and then you use them, right? That's what the Tesla dealership told me, you know what I mean? Don't worry about the electricity, it comes out on somewhere. So I just press it and go. So we have our code ready. Any questions? Anybody having any trouble so far? Okay. Remember, you can do pip, install -r requirements. You have it there.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Perfect. Go ahead and do so because I'm going to showcase that. And then once it starts, remember, you have like 3 minutes to wait and all that. So just look, eyes up here afterwards. I'm going to scroll down. In fact, I'm going to sort of do a little bit of a trick. I'm going to close it. Don't close it yourself. What was down here was the terminal. I closed it to make it showcase better. My GitHub repo has my slides if you're interested. As you saw, that was pretty much all the slides. Not that interesting. This is more interesting. This slide, this repo. We told you what we're going to do. I'm going to give away some of these things. Don't look at this. It's much more interesting if I showcase it. So don't look at that. And then we're going to see some amazing things at the very bottom. Don't click on them. I saw somebody with, no. Hold on. All right. Let's do something fancy. So, I want you to all open up the folder called Demos. And then open up the basic Streamlit. 01 basic Streamlit. And delete everything. We're going to do it from scratch. Just the first one. Okay? It's more impressive this way. Cool? So I went and opened up the demos folders, 01 basic, and I closed it all out. Okay? So, let's follow along. I'm a cheater. I have it written right here. Because I remember what it is. Import pandas as PD. Whoop. This is the lines where we bring in some of the libraries, right? Please excuse me if you know that. If mansplaining is where a man explains it to a woman, right? And I'm explaining to a crowd, is it crowd-splaining or mansplaining? Because it's still man. This is confusing, Jesus. It's still mansplaining, right? It's still mansplaining because it's still man, like a man, like I'm a man. Right, so you all knew that, I know. And, of course, Streamlit as ST. Oh, cool. So all we did here is we imported the libraries. Right now, if we run it, nothing will happen because it's just the libraries. Then we do something simple, st.title. So st is the object we created over here, right? That's the program we're going to be using. And we're going to go ahead and type in something like r first Streamlit, right? So I know every single one of your computers has this. bring up that emoji icon. These are compatible, these are required. So, do you guys know how to do that? Nope. Windows period, and you, sir, hit the function key. On the bottom left of your Mac, click on it. They have a special key. And you were like, I don't know what that key is. I've never touched that key before in my life. Touch it. You get the key, the most important keyboard ever, the emoji keyboard. Isn't that amazing? See, it was worth the money already. Choose your favorite emoji and just save it. Then come over here. If anything came up with you over here, just kind of ignore it. Everybody created these 3 lines. Please excuse me. Let me know if you can read it. Everybody can read it? So read it in line and then come here to the terminal. Anybody not have the terminal on the very bottom of the screen? Okay. We have it in there. We're going to do the following. If you don't have UV installed, type in Python. If you have UV installed, as most of you did, type in UV, run. That's equivalent to the words Python. When you think of Python, you think of UV run, same thing. Next is we're going to be using Streamlit. Normally we would give the script that we're doing it. Streamlit's a little bit different. Needs its own command. Run, and then we tell it which script we're going to run. So we are here. We need to go into demos and then choose the first one. So I'm going to go period, as in here, / demos / 01, and go, ChatGPT, can you help? I didn't. I actually pressed tab. So if you follow along, type in tab after you put in 01. It should give you, unless you've misspelled demos. I've misspelled it several times. So don't worry about it. You're equal to me if you misspelled it. It's okay. Everybody got that line coming up there? Whoa, wrong one. Oof, great, little pop-up. We have that. So hold on a second. Oh, I don't have, oh, you go, okay. Props was an important part of that. Yes, correct. UV run Streamlit. This is equal to Python. So the word Python can be replaced by right here. Streamlit run space demos. Okay, now we're about to press enter. I want you to look carefully at what happens on the top, on the bottom right of your computer. A pop-up will come up, and you have 2 options. A green button that says view the results, and another button that says make it public. We're going to click on the green button, then I'll explain what happens. Press enter, wait for some code come up. The button comes up on the right. Oh my gosh, Damian was right. It came up, and a new tab will open up. Did it happen for everybody? If you missed it, come back here. Whoops. Press Control-C here. Press up to run the same method. And then look on the right bottom of your screen for that pop-up. Please excuse me, if you're not running it locally. If you're on GitHub with me. Right? So, if you we're done. That's it. End of presentation. That sucks. That's all? No. But you're right. And you don't see it yet. If you run it on your own computer, you would see something. Actually, hold on. Copy. Let's go to my computer. I'm going to my computer, and I'm going to go and run it. UV, run, Streamlit, run, demos, 01. Whoa, cool. I need to click on that URL, because on my computer it won't open up by itself. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Oh, all right. You don't see this button. Exactly. That's what you want.
I'm getting an error altogether. I think it's
Did you type in Python? Oh, remember you have to install. Did you install the requirements?
yeah.
Okay. Kind of an error. It's
something with my machine.
okay. All right. You can go back to GitHub.
Yeah.
Remember, it's install, you're gonna run the install sh space install. The instructions are there in the README, and then you can follow along in there. We created our first website. And if you had done it on your local computer, there's a strange reason why it doesn't work on the GitHub, but it's kind of blocked. Done on your local computer, and we will do this, you could instantly push that right now to a website you can share with someone at home right now. You could send it to your mom, send it to your friend, send it to your boss, and say, check this out. But this kind of sucks. Let's do more. What we didn't notice is, I'm going to continue now on my computer here. You can continue in GitHub. It's the same thing. I have, again, different reasons. None here. But what we're going to do here is we installed Panda and we didn't really use it. Ignore the fact that I have a different text in here. What I noticed, is there's two things. There's a CSV file here, which I'm sorry, you don't see the CSV file. Haha. So there's a secret file here. It's called important financial stuff. All of you that know that in finance, we know how to name things. So I no longer work in finance for some reason. They don't appreciate humor. So let's go ahead and see if we can read it. Okay, well, it's pandas, right? So what do you do with pandas? It's ready, data equals PD, read, right? It's an Excel spreadsheet, open quote, and then we give it the name that's in there. You can do so by typing it out. I suck at typing, so I right-click, and you'll get a pop-up if you right-click or you do two fingers on the apple, so that you can copy the name, or you can trust yourself. It's called important stuff. I'm renaming the file. Why? So that I can copy the name. It's my sole purpose. Okay? And I have Git Copilot, so let's just, hey, don't give away the punchline here. This is nothing new. At this moment, other than the ST filter, you have regular Panda stuff, real boring stuff. But has everybody kind of gotten, you have that file there. It's a small file, Excel spreadsheet, and it's Excel spreadsheet, not CSV. This is nothing ordinary. It's just pandas loading it as a data frame. But ST has more than just title and write. It has data frames. And Copilot's trying to help me here, saying, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Now, you haven't noticed, and you won't because I'm kind of, cool. I didn't run it before, but the moment you saved it, okay, if you refreshed, we have the whole Excel spreadsheet here. That's not all. It's scrollable. That's not all. You can filter and sort and click on it. And you're like, I can do it with Excel, but this is read-only. And you can download it. Yes. And you can turn on and off these things. I did the basics, which is like everything on, but you can turn it off and say, I want you to access it. I want you to access only the first 10 rows. We've got to filter with pandas. No, it's not a Streamlit thing. We prepare the data set, what the data looks like. We strip out columns. We do different things. And then we give it to Streamlit and say, hey, let's go. I have some questions. I interrupted you. Think I answered the questions without interrupting you?
I mean, it's only CSV that you can download it. That's like the default.
This is Excel. Oh, no. Remember, this is any data frame. So you have.
What I'm saying is that the Streamlit, is that out of the box from Streamlit that you're able to export?
That it can import data frames. And data frames is a Panda thing and all that. It's also other things and all that. So anything you can import with pandas, right? A feather file, which with essentially a database one. HTML, you can actually read HTML and JSON. If you have a JSON file and all that, if you have a pickle file. So that's a model already coming in. It will, if it's a data frame, it's tabular data.
Yeah, well, I meant more on the website itself. On the site, when you go to the site, when you click that button to download that.
Yes. Yes.
Can I specify and say, I want it exported, or completely turn that off?
Yes. Absolutely. I have to look it up, and 2 seconds later you will see it. Also, you can build buttons, you can build interactions. We will do much more sophisticated things in just a minute, so you'll see that you don't, this is just one component, and you can make your own things at the very bottom.
Like I can have a button there, post to Facebook.
Exactly, instantly, and then take care of things for them and all that. With our account, so that the social media person doesn't have to log into Facebook and all that. You already take care of that, and they'll do it. Once they prepare it, they choose some things. We'll have other ones where we select and all that. That's this and all that. So, sounds good so far? Okay? All right. So, there is, on the right-hand side, I know you don't have a deploy button on when you are, but you have a button here. There's 3 dots, right? Did you guys know that's a shish kebab menu? That's what that's called. And one of the things in here under settings is wide mode. There's a way, and if you undo what you erased, you'll see it. I've predefined it, where you start in wide mode. So that makes more sense for you to showcase that. That's going on in here. Here's another thing I want to showcase. I've turned it on, and I'll showcase that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the right, and I'm going to leave the Visual Studio, my code, on the left. And I want to remind you.
I'm sorry, what did you do to show the settings?
Oh, I pressed on the what's called shish kebab menu.
Oh, okay.
So click on that. There's some settings in there, and one of the there is a menu that comes up, context menu. You choose settings, and there was wide mode. One of the other ones was that the moment that I click save here, the little circle here for my particular IDE, my particular editor, tells me this is unsaved. The moment I click on save, it says basic Excel stuff, basic Panda stuff. The moment I save, it changes there. And in fact, thank goodness, it even showcased something I wanted to showcase next. I don't know if you realize that you don't have this on yours. There's an error. So you're like, that's a wonderful thing? Yeah. Because if you do make an error, it won't crash. It won't take everything down. It'll showcase it. If some of the options that your customers, your users, please, excuse me, have made is somehow breaking where your data is coming from, and you didn't think about it, they can send you a screenshot. Heck, they can help you. When you click on it, ChatGPT will open, and that whole error will be shoved in there. Be careful.
You know what I feel, what I think amazing is that it didn't crash the whole website.
Right.
Just the portion right.
So let's emphasize what you just said there, absolutely, because I had partially made a mistake. I had what you all have at the top, and I was about to do a new line because I wanted to showcase something that was brought up and all that. So you're right. Only where the error happened did it talk about it. It's telling me which line number. It's telling you different things. Only where that happened did it error, but the rest still worked. So again, you can have a comfortable website that's up there and working all that. Okay. At this moment, what I'm going to do is run some of the other scripts, really to show off some things. You're welcome to follow along or just watch. I want to emphasize different options you have there that I've kind of hinted at, but that you can control. And then I want to emphasize also the code. But first, I'm going to run it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to press up. And I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go 2. And again, this you can just watch. Here it is running. Come back here. Because it's a new version, press Control-C and all that, it won't refresh automatically. I have a particular website. It's a bit of a big deal because we get about 6 million requests a month on this website. And it's a sample API. It's meant for boot camps. Now, this feels comfortable, right? This brings back home memories, right? This is like the Matrix, blonde, brunette, redhead, right? Like in the Matrix. Everybody know what this is? It's Jason. You've already read what's in there. List of coffees. For you, it's obvious. For your users, I have no clue what that is. So what I did is I put a quick little demo of it. And it's hard to see because you can't see the borders. You can see it on your own computer if you run it, but this is a drop-down menu. So there's two sort of collections in my list, iced coffees and real coffees. And as you can see, and we'll showcase the code in a minute to again emphasize how easy it is, that the moment I did interaction with here, everything below changed it. And it wasn't just JSON data or even basic data. I'm using a pretty basic thing, which is the title of the coffee. It's a list of coffees and a picture of the coffee. In fact, I don't even define the size. I just say like picture, whatever size it is, it is. But I can type in cappuccino, right? Change this to hot cappuccino, and then only the cappuccino comes up. You didn't know? That's what a cappuccino looks like. Right? I take out this. This is filtering down. I show it off. This is all the other coffees. Cortaditos, cappuccino. Now you guys are thirsty. You should have gotten some water before. So this isn't something that's impressive, but you can start looking at it and say it's only 17 lines, and it's pretty interactive, and it's pulling an API. There's the, whoop. I have a plugin that lets me know who's at fault for checking in these things, and apparently kept on saying that I'm the one at fault, right? So in my last interview, I told them, like, what are you famous for? And I'm like, I'm considered the responsible man. And he's like, give me an example. He says, whenever anything's wrong at my work, they find me responsible. Right? So, I forgot this. Okay, hold on a second. Good morning, everybody. This is Data Analytics Group. Let me start off by a joke. Totally forgot this. My wife's a 10, but Excel, she thinks she's in October. Right. Anybody worked with Excel before? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have to think about that. You can think about that. Yeah. So if you look at it carefully, there's some things in here. These are the two interactions. This is the text box. I don't have any buttons, and I don't need any buttons because it's live interactions. It's the actual URL. I'm doing some basic stuff or URL, and then I'm saying, hey, now that I got a collection, it's a basic collection, just go through it. And then put a text box with a title and put an image, and you figure out how to do an image. I don't know what an image is in HTML, and then there's the emphasis. I did all this without any HTML. You didn't see any HTML. There is no HTML. If you look at the whole project, there's nothing of HTML anywhere. There's no template I'm bringing up. There's no CSS somewhere. You can implement your own. So there are changes, and we might jump into that. Okay, that's impressive. Man, I've seen people already falling asleep. Let me see if I can prove even more. How about a full ChatGPT? I mean everything of ChatGPT. What is the president of Argentina? This is not a lookup in a CSV file. This is OpenAI with an API key. This is one of the ones who, I have an API key on this computer. You don't. You can set it up. I'll show you how. It answers. What about France? You haven't noticed anything because nothing came up. Hold on, it's coming. Okay, he has an answer. Now what you didn't realize is that this didn't say anything about the president. Yeah. So I'm about to emphasize something to you. The code you're about to see has even LLM memory. So it can remember what's going on during that conversation. What does that code look like? Lines and lines and lines and lines and, well, let me take off this comment. Who reads comments anyways? Because that way it can fit on the screen. Even back there you can see it, yes? It's 20 lines. because I like spaces, right? It's 17 if you don't count the spaces. It has the memory here. I've defined which model I'm hitting here. I'm using the standard every single day OpenAI import library. You could replace it with Google's or Llama's or Grok or DeepSeek, something local. Let's sit down and talk about that.
So where is the memory stored?
It's built into Streamlit.
Okay, so like we have the same context window as say OpenAI if I use that.
So the memory is different. So the context window is, it's.
How do I know like how deep it goes, or am I able to set that?
Yeah. So okay, that's getting a little technical. Yeah. We can. I'll answer the question. It's the memory of the computer. So for example, the server has a certain amount of memory. It's a certain amount of times multiplied by the number of users, things like that. By the way, that brings a good point. This understands which user is logged in. Are we okay in time? Okay. 10 minutes more? Well, this is a good time to stop. Let me go and showcase this. About 10 minutes over, or we're about 10 minutes?
We're at
Yeah,
7:30.
and he defined the session as state message
5 now.
and the memory.
I'll showcase it. Perfect time. Okay. Yeah. I'll stop and I'll stop.
Okay, so in the environment variable,
The environment has a link. Opening has its key and
Let's talk about that. It's up here. You have a folder called .streamlit, and in your folder is a secrets-example. I have a secrets, and in it I put in the app key. With yours, I give you a hint. Just go to this website, download the key, give them $5. Give them $5. I have not paid again OpenAI since about a year and a half ago when I first gave them $5 and all that. And if you do, give them another $5. Definitely. And it's part of the code.
I think it builds up based on the volume of the inquiry that you make.
It's the tokens, right? And notice something, I'm doing a trick, right? I'm using the mini. Mini costs 25 cents per 1 million requests, as opposed to Grok, that's at something like $25 a million. The cheapest is Gemini, Google's. Although I think they're like something like 5 cents a million. This is the cheapest, and it's going to work with certain things. Now, what's interesting, and I'm sorry, now I'm falling in that. Who is the president of the USA? I don't know why it says USA. I don't know about you. Whoop, sorry. Drum roll, please. I don't know why it's this slow and all that. It has a cutoff date, right? So it has not the current president, but last president, because it has a cutoff date, right?
And that just depends on the model.
Just depends on the model. This one has a cutoff date that's old and all that. So when you do this in ChatGPT, it's using agents, right? It's looking up data that's relevant to right now. And if you noticed back, it had been saying that for a while. It had been saying since this one, since that one, and it kind of was hinting that it doesn't have the absolute latest one. I think it ended at about 23. So in 23 or 24, we still had the other president. Regardless of whether you like him or not, whatever, that's an LLM thing, that's not a political thing, that's not a me thing. So, okay, so we have, I'm going to go to Damian.rocks, you don't have to follow me along. We have a couple of different other examples. Some of them are to showcase certain things and all that. I won't go, well, I'll just quickly run it, just so we cover our bases here. Number 4 is the one I promised you. You can do fancy things, but I'm going to showcase it in a different way as well. This one showcases what I promised in the presentation, which is the Stack Overflow Tech Explorer survey, and you can do things like a sidebar that opens and collapses by itself. You know what I mean? It is mobile friendly, right? It looks exactly the same way, mobile friendly, right? It has the correct navigation. It's automatically compiles. It works. You can deploy it. We might jump into that, but we don't have enough time. We have beautiful charts. I'll show it to you, and it's literally like chart. Here's data, chart, go, right? It's split it using pandas, and then It said these are different data, and then it's and all that. So I'll leave that to you. What I wanted to showcase is these following links at the very bottom, then we'll go to Q&A. At the very bottom, we have a couple of things, the easiest ones to sort of get to, and this is, of course, a Streamlit page. So they clicked on deploy, and they made this and all that. These are all the different kind of cheat sheets, right? You want to display data. How about a data frame, a table, where you don't have a data frame. You have just basic tabular looking data. You want to put a little basic table. You want to spit out the JSON. Now you want to showcase what I was showing you before, making that joke. Okay, maybe you want to show it to you. You want to put some sliders in there. You want to put some optimizing. You want to interact with widgets. How about a select statement, a multi-select statement where you can choose multiple things, you know what I mean? A radio button where you choose one of four, not any of the four, but only one of them. This is one of the cheat sheets. This one, if I hadn't shown you it before, how about these predefined little fun things with everything for you? You can do a built-in chatbot. Hey, looks a lot like mine for some bizarre reason. You're going to look at the Q, about a Q&A. You upload a file. There's a Q&A. You can have a Q&A with Anthropic. Check the open APIs below you. Right? How about a full, if you know what LangChain is, it's a library for doing things, helping you do things with LLMs and all that. How about a little search button here? How about a quick start? How about a blog outline generator where you can create a blog, you give it a subject, and then kind of with AI, figure out a nice summary for your blog. This one, I skipped one there, just magic. Choose something, maybe you're excited about sports, and then you want to see some things about, it shows you how to do a particular dashboard. You're like, geez, that's fantastic. And always these examples in the top right corner is copy his homework. This is the whole code. This is everything. Might not be the data, but it's everything else. That's the gateway. I'm sorry, the gallery. This one's a full LLM example with sophisticated things. Don't worry about that one. You're welcome to do it. I did a presentation somewhere else on RAG. If you know what the RAG is, this is an example of that. How about this? This is a little bit impressive. Let's see it. Lyft. Uber. Let go of all their data and do an analysis of what happened at different times of the day. You can change the hour. Say, what happens at noon? Get a lot of calls from LaGuardia. There's not that many in JFK. This is all Uber data. Sort of, what's it called? Anonymized. They released this, so someone created this beautiful dashboard and all that. And you can use it. The map component is built by Streamlit. Now, recently, they used a third party. Recently, they want you to sign up. Literally, sign up, get a key. It's free, up to a point. Maybe once you become this world millionaire with 1 million of these, they might ask you for some money and all that. So the map component requires sometimes a registration, but not always. This, yeah, so there's a video. This is, okay. So I said I would showcase, I didn't, and we'll skip it. If you want to do that last demo and you get the data, it's from this link, the developer relations data. No, but it showcases more or less what we saw a second ago. Folks, I think this is it. This is everything. Q&A time and all that. What do you guys think? You going to use it? All right. That's it. I'm sold. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Streamlit. I don't know anything about them. I just thought this was cool when they came to me in presentation. So thank you. Any questions? Anything that you guys are now thinking of creating? What are you going to do with this and all that? What do you want from the future of?
Yeah, there's a ton of it.
Yeah.
So much, and just even simple things that
Yes.
you can just hand.
Tomorrow, yeah. What about a quick sign up of everybody here so that you can get an email in the morning tomorrow? A couple of lines later with a database set up in the right place, and boom, you could set that up, and then it's a good looking website. press the deploy button. I won't do it right now, but trust me, it's easy. You can just Google it on YouTube or YouTube it on Google. That's how it worked. Anyways, so come here. Do we have any other questions? Anything else? All right. What are we going to do next with PyData?
We are working on smart contracts, integrating
Oh, smokes. Okay.
LLMs to smart contracts, and so we can query smart contracts. If you are aware of blockchain technology, that's the direction we're going to be heading towards the end of this year and into 2026.
Solana or Ethereum?
Ethereum.
Solana had a big run, and then all of a sudden just sort of stabilized and all that. Oh, no, not in the price. And everybody was using it. Everybody's using Solana, and now, but it all originally ran on. Yeah, true. That's true.
And then if anyone wants to present at one of the next meetups, just let Arlo or me know what you want to present, and yeah, we'll be happy to have you.
I just got to know about, I didn't know about PyData. You have like a website or?
Yeah, I think you do, right?
Yes, we do have
What's it called?
PyDataMiami.org. We're working on constructing it. This is our first event for 2025. So we don't have anything up yet, but concluding this event, we will be populating our website.
For Streamlit?
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
For longevity's sake, no.
Yeah, and then there's also PyData.org. So that's the parent organization. It's a part of a nonprofit. There's a PyData Global Conference coming up soon. Yeah, you can access it online, so check that out. Yeah.
And our parent organization is non-focused, and if you want to learn more about that, you can look that up as well.
Non-focus?
NUM focus.
Ooh.
Yep. So NumFocus is a nonprofit. They sponsor projects like Pandas, NumPy, Scikit-learn, so forth.
Nice. Cool. Very nice. Anything that someone's passionate about that you just recently heard about and you're like, I gotta destroy. Other than, I know. Streamlit is the answer to that question. But what I meant was before you came here.
I don't want if you show the RAG, how you request, how you integrate with RAG to go and maybe see if you can get the latest president.
If you, the latest president, yes. So I would have to do something about it in the, you can see in the example that I did. This is this looks the same. I have even the video of me presenting. And I do that. Latest president, who needs the latest president? What I showcase that is that LLM didn't know what I had breakfast this morning. RAG, it knew what I had breakfast this morning and all that. So if that made no sense, watch the video. If that was really, really boring, don't watch the video. So warning, I'm a little funny in the video. So just to let you out there. Yes, sir.
So from a governance perspective, or if we let anyone just be able to build Streamlit applications to call your Snowflake environment.
Yes.
What are like the top 3 kind of user enablement practices that you would try to help your associates in your company make sure they implement, or like how does a platform team kind of implement good governance practices to discover the bad actors or the bad containers?
That's good. So it's the same question with anything else. You have to worry about where the data comes from, and if you're allowed to pull that data. You know what I mean? What you're concerned about isn't that people are going to make 1 million of these in your organizations. That should be okay. It's that that they're pulling from the right information. I heard someone talk about a company called REPL. REPL's a vibe coding sort of success story. They're making somewhere around $93 million a year just with people that they've finished with a free account and they want to pay them money. And I just recently heard that CEO said, who uses vibe coding? Yes, the entrepreneur that wants to try it. Yes, everybody wants to goof around and all that. Yes, the PMs that have some ideas, they want to showcase it, but also the internal people. So in your example, a lot of companies are using them internal. The HR company is putting together something quickly. It's not Streamlit they're using. It's this thing that makes it's more vibe coding. This isn't really vibe coding. It's helping you code. And so I would say that that's something you have to think about, which is when everybody's building their own little apps, whether it's Streamlit that enabled that or vibe coding that enabled that, you have to worry about where the data comes from. Can we assure ourselves that that's the right thing? Is the HR pulling the right information, or is she pulling yesterday's information or last month's information? Is she thinking that she's pulling every user's information and she's actually pulling only herself's information, right? And she pulled that from the data set and things like that. So that's things I would worry about, which is if everybody's building apps, which I think is where your idea, that's kind of where you're insinuating, right? So everybody's building apps, what do we worry about? Data is what I worry about, right? If everybody has beautiful apps and it's doing what they want them to do, that's fine, but where they're pulling the data, is that putting too much stress on whatever the database server is, wherever the data comes from, whether it's an API or a something, you know what I mean? That's fine. So that's something just to think about. Does that cover what you were thinking about?
Yeah, and it connects to what I'm thinking about, but like I'm kind of thinking like, I could see where a person would say like, hey, I want a brand new fresh set of data every
Yes.
15 minutes and download the entire database over and over again, right?
And that's where it comes from. That's what I mean. Like that's okay as long as the server can take it, right? And it might be an okay thing to do because there's only 5 people making that request. That's no problem for the server. Every 5 minutes, no problem. Every 5 minutes, but there's 100,000 users. Again, no problem. So every 5 minutes, your server's slow, right? During the other time, the server's fine, right? At the Department of Justice, I literally just redesigned the system. I was having hard trouble sending out 10,000 emails a day, which sounds like a lot, but shouldn't be. We redesigned it, and now send 10,000 emails in 7 minutes. So the system was never the problem. It was the system. It was the system that handled it. And the email system could send out as much emails as it could. 10,000 every 7 minutes. It was fine. We checked on the server, and it was fine, happy. It was our manipulating system. That was a centralized system. We want to make sure we send emails to the right people, the can spam things and all that, although we're not covered by that. But anyways, the whole infrastructure was redesigned badly and all that. So which would be one that would be affected by everybody hitting us, redesigned it so that it wouldn't be hitting us and everybody could send out emails. And now they don't have the system doesn't blink when emails come in because we maximum say hit 17,000 emails a day. We don't do more than that. So that's it. All right. Sounds good. Let's can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you.